Tell me your name, year, and major.
My name is Tom Hoag. I'm a biochemistry major, and I'm a freshman here.
Sweet. All right. So, Tom, how long have you been doing art for?
I guess I've been drawing since as long as I've been able to hold a pencil.
That's awesome. No, I love it. I love it. Why? What entices you about art? What makes you want to do it?
I don't know, I think like on the surface, it just like is aesthetically pleasing for me to like look at and to know like I created that. But then I think like at a deeper level, it kind of like I will draw for like 6 hours and I'll not even realize that like a second has passed, you know?
Time stands still kind of.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a way to just like not escape. I guess it's kind of escape, but like just find a place to like listen to music and have everything be quiet and just like get away from things that are hectic.
Yeah. So I've done a little bit of research about your art and what you have told me and what I've kind of seen, and I'll show the audience the artwork soon. But I noticed you use Prismacolors, and it's like a wax. Can you explain like why you use them, why do you like them, what they offer as opposed to like anything else?
Yeah. So the Prismacolors are like a wax-based colored pencil, and so it's really nice because unlike a lot of other pencils, you can blend them almost like paint. So like if I do a blue and then I can do white over that, and it doesn't look like white on blue, it like blends it perfectly. And so I really like that for just like when you're trying to do details and stuff in the drawings, it like can make it look really realistic, which I like. And then also the Prismacolors, they show up on the black paper, and so that allows me to do, as you'll probably show in some of the drawings, like the negative lighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you can take a black background and then like a normal picture, and then using the Prismacolors, you can almost like reverse it, and it makes it like negative, which looks really cool, I think, and it's just
the aesthetically pleasing part kind of kicks in.
Yeah, and it's like a unique aspect of what the Prismacolors can allow you to do. Yeah. So.
And then do you use a wide range of colors, or do you stick, because I know like you talk about like the negative lighting,
yeah.
So obviously like black may not be something you know what I mean, black on black paper,
right.
But I know you do kind of go into some things. So what do you mean, it's a whole array of colors?
Yeah, so when I first started using them, I was doing a lot of colors. I think you guys will see, but I did like a jellyfish and some other fish that are really colorful on the black, and that like it looks amazing, I think, because it like makes the colors pop more. Mm-hmm. And then also recently I've been doing a lot of just white, and that's like with the faces and some like other stuff. If it's just white, it looks nice. But yeah, I honestly I like all of it. It does have a different attitude though, you know, the ones that are colorful versus the ones that are just the white on the black. They're kind of like they send a different message sort of.
Yeah, because I mean the next question I was going to ask you is, you know, what's interesting about your art that other people might not understand, like upon first glance, right? I mean, when you see this, you know, the silhouette that you drew of that man, when you look at that, I mean, a lot of people might think that's really, you know, cool and unique, but you know, what's something they don't understand at first glance, like that they, you know, that if they got to know you more, they'd be like, wow, that's powerful.
So like the meaning behind that one?
Yeah.
That was during first semester when, I mean, I think a lot of people can relate to this one, but, you know, first semester of college, you kind of feel a little bit alone and like kind of not yourself. I know for me, at least like coming from high school into college, it was like a time where I thought I knew exactly who I was and like, you know, had all these people in my life that I had no doubts about. And then I go into a place like this and just didn't know anyone. And like, and also I was going through a breakup and things like that. So like just kind of all that piled into that drawing that, so yeah, like when you look at it, it just looks like a guy kind of,
like a 007 kind of.
Or just like closing his eyes and kind of just thinking. But like for me, it's more of like that feeling of like detachment and like a little bit of like loneliness, which like I'm not trying to like cry for help or anything. It's just like,
it's just like it's emotion. It's raw.
And I think and also I like it because that's like one of the only ones I've actually kept myself. because it's something that like was kind of for me
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, because I know one thing, just from getting to know you over the year and, being able to call you one of my best friends is I think it's really interesting how you draw for others. And, like, it's something that, like, and I think it reflects a lot of your personality too, like you very much like to like give back and like help others, but what kind of got you started on drawing for others? Or was it like the initial excitement of giving it? Was it like being able to, see, other people's images that they construct in their head, come to real life and you're that connection? What is it?
Yeah, so I think initially definitely like just the seeing something, like when you give someone art that like clearly took you a while and like you put a lot of thought into and stuff, they, like, in my opinion, there's not like a better way to make someone feel like you care about them, if that's what you're trying to show them.
Yeah, it's hours and hours.
Yeah, it's like I put hours and I thought about you and like how I see this art relating to you, and like stuff like that. So that's why I really like giving it, because you can buy someone something on Amazon and that's sweet. That's awesome too. But it's just like it's more personal and
it's almost like a written letter, but
it's like exactly. And so it says all
like
that, and that's why I really like kind of being able to do that, and that's awesome. And also like I'll draw something, but it's I know I drew it, so I don't need to keep it,
Yeah, but that's really interesting because a lot of artists generally just keep it.
Right, but it's it's like I know I did that, and like I can see what it looks like in my head because I did it. But then if I give it to someone, then they also get to see it, and like if they hang it up on their wall, it's like they get to.
Do you sign your work?
No, because then.
That's the same point. That's I guess that's
it's
cool.
Well, like that part is like that's about the drawing, not like once you give it to someone else, it's about what the drawing is, not about you,
Yeah.
So I don't usually sign my stuff. So then I've given stuff to a lot of people: my mom, my sisters, my
friends. I mean, I know Bridget.
Bridget, and that's when it's sort of like Bridget requested one, so that was kind of cool because normally I just draw whatever I feel like,
and then you just give it to them.
I just give it to them, and they love it, which I love. I still do that, but then she asked for, or actually my little sister asked for a picture of Sirius Black from Harry Potter, and so I drew that and I gave it to her. And
we'll show that one on the.
Yeah. So
that's sweet.
She, that was like it was awesome too because I was like I knew exactly what she wanted. I do it and I gave it to her and it was cool.
Yeah.
So.
So, why do you think you recently started drawing for yourself? I know you did keep. You've only kept one drawing, right? Or is it two?
I kept two.
The rose one, too, right?
Yeah, the woman smoking the rose, and then the man.
So
and I'm doing one more that I'm going to keep now. But.
So why do you think you started drawing for yourself? Do you think it's one of those things where you're like, right now I just want to work on myself? Do you think it reflects something like that, or do you think it's, well, I just think this is really pleasing just for myself, and I like that?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it a lot yet.
That's cool.
About why, but I kind of feel like.
Is it kind of like symbolic of like I'm working on myself?
Or it's almost like, so I like recently started getting into the black paper.
Yeah.
And like I've done drawings and stuff for like forever, but the black paper and the Prismacolors and like that's sort of my niche that I've kind of found recently. Mm-hmm. I think I've drawn a lot. I've drawn a bunch, and I've given them all the people. I think I've started kind of like wanting. I've sort of like given enough people. Nah, like I mean, obviously. It comes out the wrong way, but like I don't know. I think I kind of decided it's time like that.
You want to work on yourself a little bit,
and also like the ones I do for other people usually are more like surface level.
Yeah.
Not like. So like you don't like I understand my own like emotions and my own feelings like obviously because I am myself, and so the ones that I feel like I do for myself like the man like thinking and stuff are really like personal and have a lot of like
as opposed to Sirius Black,
right, have a lot of like internal meaning, whereas like a drawing of Sirius Black or like a snow leopard or whatever else I do, like obviously I know the people that I give them to are going to love them and like and, they're going to love them, but it doesn't necessarily carry as much like deep meaning. And so I think when I have an idea that like really like is something that means something to me and like it's a sort of a feeling that I've had and maybe haven't like talked about to someone else, that's when I would do it for myself. Because
is it a good reminder to like look back at it and like acknowledge that's how you felt? And like,
especially with that one of the guy, that's like I look at that, I keep it on my wall and I look at it and I'm like, that's how you felt. And like sometimes if I'm having a bad day and it's like you felt like that before. Like, do you feel like that now? And it's, no. And then I think about how, like, the strides I've made since I've been here, and like,
that's
all of that. So like, that's a great, honestly, that drawing is a great reminder of like, like how far I've come.
And then, just to touch over this, like your inspiration for art. I know. I mean, do you have like a favorite artist or anything like that? Are you like a Dali guy, or
everyone loves Dali.
Or is it like just something where it's like, what, my inspiration at this point is like, it's like self-motivated inspiration. It's just me. It's just, this is what I do, and that's the way it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love like all art, honestly. Like, I love just like looking at it.
The expression of it, just the meaning behind
like,
it all.
it's a crazy way to like, a picture is worth 1,000 words. It's a crazy way to like say a lot of stuff without actually like writing it. I'm not a good writer, so like, what else? How else am I going to do it? But yeah, I don't know. I think as of right now, it's definitely this just like I just like want to like do it almost. It's like this feeling of just like
it needs to just come out.
It kind of, I don't know. Like,
that's cool.
And I wouldn't just say it's like self-motivated, because like I get a lot of my ideas from like other people, and like you have given me some ideas that you don't even know about yet.
Yeah,
secret. But no, but like, yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's something. I think it's something that I just like want to do and just like
That's
it.
Sweet. No, I love it. All right, so you are a biochem major, right?
Yeah.
Which is a very difficult, objectively a very difficult major. And I'll show how you wrote your name out. Do you think like your art kind of background enhances your biochem work? Like, do you think that? I mean, I know realistically, you're in a biochem test. You're not going to think like, oh my God, detachment,
I just wish I had like Prismacolors.
Exactly. No, totally. But I'm saying like,
brighter.
Do you think it like enhances the way you approach a problem, maybe, or just being able to express your creativity, which would then enhance it in the end?
Well, actually, recently, I've been thinking about that, because I'm in Calc 2 and I'm in like OChem, and both of those kind of are like the first classes I've been in where the first like science classes I've been in where you kind of need to like think outside the box sometimes, or like it's not, a lot of math is like, here's the steps, here's the formula, and you do it. And I'm kind of like in a place now where it's not like that as much.
A little more open-ended kind of.
It's a little bit more like you gotta like look at it and kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think that's like completely parallel to art, I guess, right?
Yeah.
When I start drawing, I don't like know exactly what it's gonna look like, or
it could be
how it's gonna turn out, how long it's gonna take me. I don't know any of that, so I think it is like a little bit of parallel, and it is cool, coming into a science class or something and thinking like, all right, like this is art, or like this is like something where I can apply creativity, or like think in different ways about it. There's not, I think a lot of people appreciate math and science for how analytical it is and how straightforward, which I definitely, like, a lot of science is that, but I think being able to like look at stuff from a lot of different angles and not necessarily see it in one way can be like super helpful. And so I think art, being an artist and like thinking in that way is definitely helpful.
Yeah, and I know we also like kind of for OChem we talked about like your dream job, if computer scanning, this would be to draw out cells,
draw like the cells and bacteria and viruses, which used to be a job, and now we can just computer like just do them on.
But that would have been, I think that would have been really sweet for you, and like understanding it.
I know, a different life, right? 50 years ago.
Totally. So I guess I know like you're a very versatile person. It's not just studying and drawing for you. You're also you're an outdoorsman, right?
It's the
what is some what are outlets for your creativity? Like, I know for your drawing, you don't really get stuck on it as much, because I know it's something that you're very passionate about. When you sit down, you do it, because I know there's days where you're like, I don't want to draw, and I know or I don't have time to, and then there's days where you can you clear out a day for it, and you're like, I just want to do this.
Yeah.
So I know you kind of approach it when you want to, so I imagine you wouldn't get too sick of it. But what are outlets for, let's say rethinking a biochem problem, or even art, you know what I mean? Or when you're trying to think of an idea and you're just like, I need to just separate myself from my work? Like, what's stuff that you do?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the being outside, like, obviously is, like, you know me, I guess, but like, yeah, that's like the only place, in my opinion, where like stuff is like raw. You know, it's like really the way it's supposed to be and the way it like has always been. And so yeah, I just like I love skiing, you know, hiking, all that. You go outside and you like look out over,
right?
Blading,
huge blader.
Blading throughout the streets.
There you go.
No, but just like if I'm out and like skiing, right, and I, you know, like, and you like anytime you're in nature or something, you like look out over like all the trees and the mountains and just like everything, and like this is like kind of weird, but like kind of like the vastness of it, yet it's all kind of like connected.
Yeah.
As like one big thing. Mm-hmm. Or like if you think about, like I've been thinking about this recently, kind of weird, but like a blanket, like snow, you know, you look out over like it just snowed and you're like, look at that blanket of like beautiful white snow. But then you think about like there's individual snowflakes that are all different that make that up, you know?
That is pretty crazy.
Right, so it's there's like the individual pieces, but then they all make like one big
picture almost. Yeah.
One big picture, and like this whole thing, and like that just like idea to me of like individuals making up, this is like kind of getting off topic, but
that's totally
the idea of like individual things making up one like beautiful image or like one cohesive piece, just like makes me feel good and like makes me like, and that's usually what like
intertwined
spurs
in connectedness.
Yeah, and that usually is what spurs like an idea, because like generally with my art, I think I get like a feeling of like I'll be out and like see the snow and the trees and stuff, and I'm like, that gives me like a feeling, and then I'm like, how can I make that feeling look like a picture? So just like that whole like the yin and the yang of that, like they're different but at the same time they're all the same. Mm-hmm. It's like a weird unexplainable feeling that I have that just is like,
and putting that into pictures, like,
yeah, and like not all my pictures are that exact idea, but like
yeah,
it's just like that, it kind of just like, it's like a big deep breath when I think about that. It's like just like,
that's sweet.
It's just
that's
like
so
it's
cool.
Calming and like nice.
No. What does, this is gonna be kind of a loaded question, but what does creativity mean for you? You know of it? Yeah, no, totally.
Well, interestingly, me and Patty were having a conversation about creativity, like literally yesterday, and she was saying that it's just with art. She was like, you can only be creative in an artistic sense. And I like was like, no, you know,
it's not one dimensional.
I don't think it's like it has to be like artistic, because like if you really want to get into it, like what is art, you know? It's like
totally. Yeah.
But like no, but in like a real sense, like I think it's like creativity is like the ability to just like move away from what people have already from like a way that people have already done something, or a way of thinking, you know, like moving away from like what I guess like the masses.
Would you say like a status quo?
Yeah, like moving away from a status quo and trying something a different way. Because like not everything's been done, but like a lot of stuff's been done. But like what makes it creative is like the way you do it,
and the
way you
put
approach
on
it. Right. That's what I think. And like I think that like definitely is obvious in art. Like that's where people can be like, that's creative. You know, you see it in art easily. It's apparent. But I think it goes to, like beyond that into everything. And like just the way people act, even like the way you act towards people compared to the way other people I know act towards people, like that's creativity. That's your like ability to connect with people in your own special way that like is different.
To myself,
and like and like I think it's like less apparent when it's not in the form of art, but it's just like a new way of doing things.
I think one thing I think is, and something that I've been learning a lot in this class, is like creativity is not just pen and paper, or it's not just duct tape and scissors. You know what I mean? Like it's
and even like
there's so many aspects of it, and
and even like for me with my art, like half the time it's like I'm just drawing a person's face that like already exists. You know, like I didn't create that human. Like I didn't invent that person. You know, like I wasn't. Like being able to put it on paper is like cool, but it's not like necessarily pure creativity, you know. So
there's a lot of other like
and there's like a lot of stuff, and like for me, like the way I see it being creative is like what the meaning, like what it holds, you know. like my way of thinking about like the connectedness of everything, yet the individuality. Like, that's the creative piece, whereas like the art is just like a visual representation of that. But the creative thing for me is like the different way of looking at it, or seeing an idea.
No, I actually really do. I strongly agree with you on that. We could definitely approach Patty about it, but I definitely like. I do enjoy your point of view. Something that I talk to everybody about is so unique in just the way that you look at things and your ability to step back from it, whether it be like a social dilemma or a math problem, and sometimes for you just putting it down is a thing, and sometimes for you staying up till 2 a.m. doing it's a thing. And so I just think that's, you take it on a very like thing to thing basis, I guess, and with everything that you tackle, and even with people, you know what I mean? You're very personable, and you do a lot of like amazing things with people, and I think it's just super interesting how like that all kind of works. What piece of art are you the most proud of right now?
Right now?
Piece of art, if you had to burn all your art, and you had to keep one of it, what would be the one piece of art? Could be something you've given away too.
Probably, purely like technique-wise, probably the Sirius Black. Because I think I like kind of killed that one. But then for like actually like meaning, I think the woman with the rose probably.
Ooh, okay.
And like the guy thinking, or like his eyes closed, it means a lot to me, but it's in the past, kind of,
I like present.
And so like if I were to get rid of it, like maybe I should get rid of it, because I want to get rid of that, that feeling.
Yeah.
But the woman with the rose, I think like that one's supposed to be about like.
Can you talk a little about
that?
What's
one,
the name of the piece?
It's called Bloom.
Okay.
And it's just like, I like wrote a little thing about it for the reflection journal, because that's one of the ones I submitted.
No, yeah.
And it's like the lady, she has this really like stern face on, but then she has this rose in her mouth like a pipe, and then it's like this colorful smoke coming out. And so it's just like the idea is that like on the outside, if you just looked at the woman, she's like stern and like, but then she's creating this like beautiful smoke from this like colorful rose.
Yeah.
And so like I was sort of seeing it as like internal beauty, I guess, like to put it, straightforward. Like she's breathing this beauty into the rose, and that's like where you see it, and you might not see it on the outside for her. I mean, like she's a beautiful woman, but like she looks stoic, but she has all this color inside of her. So that's kind of that's what that one's about. But I really like kind of like my idea behind that, like the message behind that, and I think like that's like everyone can relate to that. Not just women, not just men too, and like just like focusing on who you are on the inside.
Yeah, and finding yourself ultimately, and that's why you do the art in general.
Right,
It's to reach that internal harmony or beauty.
Internal beauty, and like, so that one I think like right now means the most to me.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. And
I didn't want to name them, and then after I did, I kind of was like, I was pleased with it, because I was able to sort of put like a single word or something to that whole like meaning that I had behind it. And like, we like, remember we were sitting there and it took forever because I was like trying to get the right, and I still don't think I really like
got the right feeling.
Yeah, because it's like there's never one single word that can describe a whole thing you feel. But yeah, it's kind of cool to name them. I might start naming them more in the future.
I think it's funny because I guess when you think of creativity, or some people think I think you have a very unique perspective on creativity, but I know some people think that it's very black and white, that it's like, that person is just more of a creative person than me. And something that we've been talking about in classes, creativity is in all of us, but how do you think the science mind in you and the creativity mind in you, do you think they clash at all? Do you think it's like harmony? I mean, what do you think it kind of is? Or do you think it's like something you turn on and off, like science on, science off, creativity on, creativity?
Well, yeah, sometimes it's, there's a certain way to do stuff in science and stuff. So a lot of times you have to allow yourself to be boxed in and say, like, like I can't approach like an OChem problem and just be like, oh, I guess I'll just do it the way I feel today. You know, it's like, a lot of the time it's just like, this is how you do it because it's the correct way. But then, you know, like I said before, a lot of times it's like bringing your own way of thinking into something, and that helps. And so I think like it's definitely something that we all have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wouldn't say like I'm more creative than, you know, the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
I just think like it's whether you choose to make a conscious effort to access that part of your brain.
Gotcha.
Because I think it really is like a lot, you know, like a lot of times ideas will just come to me, but like most of the time you sit there thinking, how can I represent like this feeling I have or whatever, you know, or like how can I do this? And I think it's like for pretty much everyone, it's like a conscious effort.
But you think everybody has the same capacity?
Yeah, I think everyone has the capacity to think,
mm-hmm.
and like some people I think are more closed-minded and they're less willing to think that way.
Yeah.
But I think if you, like, everyone has the ability to make an effort to try to open themselves up to new ideas,
mm-hmm.
you know, and like I think it starts with accepting other people's ideas, right? Like this goes into like the whole world, right? Being able to like listen to other people if they have, you know, differing views from yours, and being able to like really try to understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
And like that's your own ability to kind of accept other ideas that may not be your own.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it starts, I think.
So because that initial shock of that's not my idea.
Yeah, allowing yourself to open your mind up to that, right?
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you're allowing yourself to open your mind up to yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. No, totally.
You're allowing yourself to kind of
it's
like
a two-way thing.
Right, yeah. Once you can open up to other ideas, other people's ideas, then you can open up to your own self. This is like bringing in new ideas and new ways of thinking, and like, yeah, I think it's like a kind of a gateway that like definitely like some people are just born with like maybe the desire or the ability to kind of do that and be that way, but I think everyone has the capacity to like just, you know, to like make an effort to be a more creative person.